Liberty Sauce. Liberty Sauce.
Liberty Sauce.
Liberty Sauce. Liberty Sauce. Liberty Sauce. Liberty Sauce.
Hi, and welcome to Lyrics Source first interview and podcast, the Traveling A&R, where I go to different cities and states to interview different people in the music business and highlight dope artists and entertainers around the world. My name is Najah McKnight, and this is my podcast, the Traveling A&R. Today we have special guest A&R Kristina from Atlantic Records. I just want to take the time and thank her for coming out today and giving her time to share and give us some insight about the ins and outs behind the scenes within the music industry as an A&R. Today, we're going to be asking her a couple of questions about the industry, and this basically serves as a purpose to help up-and-coming artists, producers, entertainers, and most importantly, A&Rs who's trying to get in the game. So once again, we want to thank Kristina. We're going to clap it up for her real quick. Thank you for being here today, and we really appreciate you.
Okay. Thank you. That was a great introduction.
Thank you. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling well, feeling blessed. Happy to be here.
That's good. I'm glad you're here. It's a pleasure to have you here. And we calling down in the A, calling you from the A today?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Well, thank you once again. So I guess we get right into the questions. And pretty much, as a person that's trying to get in the industry myself, just wanted to know your story as an A&R. How did you get started? Why music? How did we get here? How did we get to the A&R at Atlantic Records? Doing what you do.
Okay, so I started out like in high school. I always wanted to do the A&R thing. That was like the time when I first found out what an A&R was. I didn't know about the music industry too much in high school, but I actually ended up working with this group like as an intern named the Rich Kids in Atlanta. They were this group that was kind of like, popping. They had like, the singles and in high school, everybody in high school knew their music. So I ended up working with them, and their manager actually is the one that actually told me what an A&R was, because at the time, the label that they were signing to wanted to hire him as an A&R. So that was the time where I first found out, okay, that's an A&R, that's what they do, and that's something I want to get into. I knew off rip that's what I wanted to do. From interning with them, just being involved with the music industry, that was something I wanted to really, focus on and get there at one point. So I started doing that. The group eventually ended up splitting. After that, for a while, I ended up trying to figure out exactly what I was going to do next. So in that time frame, I was doing a lot of intern work. I tried to stay consistent, so I never had no type of job that had anything to do with anything outside of music. It always had something to do with music. Whether I was getting paid for it or not, it had something to do with music. And the opportunities that I didn't get paid for were the ones that mean the most on my resume today. So that's just a gem that, somebody might want to pick up when they feel like, okay, I'm doing this for free. I'm doing all this work. When does it pay off? It pays off in the end. Okay. And that's something that got me to where I am today. I started doing artist management for artists that were coming up in Atlanta, a few of them. And some of them ended up actually blowing up, to be like superstars now, or, to have a bigger fan base or to get to a bigger platform. And from there, I thought that I would end up, meeting this A&R position from just working with them, but that wasn't it. I ended up actually assisting at A&R finally. Okay. And that was like the last thing I did to kind of like help me get into the industry, the corporate America world of music. And what I did was I used to find producers and collect beat packs for this A&R. And that ended up helping me build my catalog with producers for one. I ended up having a big catalog of producers. I was able to, really find out more in depth on what the A&R community does, or, everything that they do to to put records out, to find new artists, so that helped out a lot. And I ended up reaching out to labels to see if there was a position I could have, or someone to take a chance on me. And Atlantic Records was that place that did it. So since then, that's what I've been working on, and it's paid off since then. So
okay. Nice.
yeah.
So when you got to Atlantic Records, was this an online thing? Did you kick down the door and be like, I'm here? How did they get to you? Was it through the other A&R that you was working with?
No, it wasn't. I actually ended up I had this article written about me. It was in Rap. I don't know if you heard of the Rap Fest.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an up north blog, a hip hop blog.
Okay.
I had them write an article on me, and what I did, I haven't told a lot of people this story. What I did was I had them write an article on me, and in the article it told them everything that I've done in the music industry from me being in high school all the way down to that day that I started reaching out to labels. So it was kind of like if you read the article, it's kind of like my resume, but it's in a blog format. I'm answering questions. It's like an interview. So
and Rap Fest right there.
Yeah.
Rap Fest. Kristina, get the ins and out on it.
Yep. And it was like something I did out of the box that kind of just was something cool to put with me reaching out to labels. Because I didn't want to just reach out like, everybody reaches out, but you have to be creative. And you have to get their attention in some way that no one else is going to, in a way that no one else has got their attention before. And that's the way I went about it. I ended up getting someone's attention. And since then, things were put in order for me to, get started and for chances to be taken on me. So that's what worked.
Nice.
And I had the catalog with the producers. That helped a lot. Like that's something that I was able to bring to the table to Atlantic. That was something that they could use, something that they needed. So that helped out as well.
So you was an asset. You knew where to
right.
beats.
Exactly. So you gotta find
important.
Right. You gotta find something that these people need, or something that anywhere you're trying to go, just find something that they may need, an asset, like you called it. So,
Okay. Well, thank you for your story, and thank you for sharing. Because I'm pretty sure it's plenty of people trying to figure out how to get in the door, where to start. Was this online? Did you go to parties? Was this behind small performances behind the stage, or how did you get them to pay attention to you? Did you say,
right.
Did you go up to people and be like, I got a nice little catalog, or did you have like a blog or something to where how did you stand out?
Yep. And that's what it's about at the end of the day. So
okay.
Yep.
All right. So I would say my next question is, what does the A&R do? What is a typical day for Kristina? What does morning to next morning?
Okay. So that's a fun question to answer. So at A&R, a lot of people, when you call A&R, a lot of people think that A&Rs are just people that's finding new talent for the label. And it's a lot more than that. You definitely find new talent for sure. That's something that you research and you find at a label, but also you have to know how to put a record together. So that involves you finding producers. Sometimes that involves you finding songwriters, sometimes engineers maybe, you know what I'm saying? So all of that in one is what an A&R does. I'll jog down to the question about my everyday life waking up. As far as it goes now, because of coronavirus, it's a little different. So I can give you my life before that.
Okay.
And I can give you my life now. So before the coronavirus, as an A&R, what I would do is I would go to the studio. I would have creative sessions. And in the creative sessions, I would have actual producers come in, and they're able to, create beats for things I'm looking for beats for, projects we're looking for beats for, artists we're looking for beats for. I also have sessions where there are like songwriters that want to work with producers, so they may have a hook. The typical day before COVID-19, it would be the studio. I would go in from like 12 to 8, sometimes 8 to 3 a.m. and work on records. I work with producers. I work with songwriters, sometimes with producers. just, creative sessions to get things going, see what the label may be needing. It may be a project we're working on. We need a certain beat, or artists we're looking for tracks for that we need like a certain tempo or a certain sound for it, something melodic. We'll bring those producers in, have them cook up sometimes in the session. Sometimes they play me beats. We'll do it like that, Also having the artists in the session with me, that helps sometimes. And that's something that took up a lot of my time before the pandemic in the studio. We would work long hours just trying to get records done, staying consistent with the workflow. Now, since the pandemic has happened, we have been on some work at home most of the time thing. We do get studio time, and it's shared, but it's, it's different from before, of course. So the artist is actually being sent records, more so than him being in the studio with me most of the time. So that involves me going through finding new producers to work with, sending him beat packs from my email, editing records I already have, looking for new artists, all of that. That's what I'm doing at home now since the pandemic. So,
yeah, it's real different, and I give I gotta give y'all credit because nobody is really paying attention to what A&Rs have to do behind the scenes. They always on artists, which is important as well, but A&Rs put things together, and that pandemic still making things happen when it's so different now. So we thank you for what you do. And
thank you.
Yeah, you're very appreciated. I guess the next question is, what's the best part to this? What's the best part to being an A&R?
Okay, so the best part I would say would be the creativity part. So while doing my job, being able to have some type of creative control over what a song sounds like is the best part of my job. That's the part that I will always cherish. No matter what happens, that's something I'm always love about this job. Just being able to have control about how you want the next single to sound, or who you may think sounds good on this song, or just being able to put it together. It's kind of like a big puzzle, and I love it. But it's a puzzle of music, so it's exciting at the same time.
Nice. Yeah, it's just like the final product,
Yeah.
Finished, mastered, completed, signed for making sure that, it's legal.
Yep. The samples,
the samples and everything. So that's definitely a plus in the game. So thank you for sharing with that. I would say, how long have you been doing this? And what are some negatives and positives with
Okay, so I've been doing the A&R thing with Atlantic. I've been there for a year and a half.
Nice.
I would say. And I would say the negative would be, receiving bad beat packs. You could hit up a producer that you might think is like #1 platinum selling producer. You may hit someone up that you think has, went 5 times platinum, and their beat pack just might not be the beat pack for you that day. And that turns into being the negative, in my opinion. Because you really don't know what you're gonna get. It's like with beat packs, they're like gifts. You open them up, you don't know if it's gonna be, exactly what you're looking for. You don't know if it's gonna be something out of the box. You don't know. You never know. And that goes off of the creativity. But you do try to hit up, the producers and the writers or whoever that's, A1, or you hit up people that you want to give chances to as well. So that's like the negative of the job, just not knowing what you're gonna get in beat folders. The positive of the job is the creativity control. Like I said, just being able to, have that creative control over everything. Also, being that you meet new people, which is like the producers, the songwriters, even meeting new artists, just to, build relationships and making, records like that. That's, positive about the job. Having a positive impact on their lives. That's just, the positive thing.
Super dope. Dope. I bet you was a vibe in the studio.
Yeah, especially when you meet new people. So.
Yeah, it's like, I got one. I would say the next question. I know you with Atlantic. Have you worked with any other labels, or do you have any plans of working with any other labels or distribution companies, anything?
I haven't worked with another label as an A&R. I did have an internship at other labels in Atlanta, like Quality Control, TIG, Think It's a Game.
Mm-hmm.
I had an internship with 21 Savage's manager for a second. That was pretty much it, like as far as other labels go. I don't see myself working for another label right now. I think distribution companies are cool though. That's something dope that's going on right now. And we have one in Atlanta too called Streamcut. So I like what they're doing for like new artists that aren't signed. That's dope. So, that shit's light over there.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Big moves over there. Okay, thank you for answering that.
Yep.
I guess the next question is, what genre do you prefer to work with when in the studio?
Okay. Right now I prefer like rap and R&B.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of like rap and melodic music right now. That has my ear. I feel like that's like the future of rap is the melodic music and the guitar. I think I said that like before it really started happening, but it's funny because now we hear it in all the music we're listening to. We hear some type of guitar loop, something that's always just soul side or, storytelling. I love that type of music as well.
Okay.
So when it comes to that, that's like what I look for in like genre for artists.
I would say the best storytelling like rap right now is Vaughn. Vaughn is
Vaughn.
But what artists have you worked with or at Atlantic Records? Because I know you mentioned the Rich Kids and working with 21 Savage. Who are you currently working with?
Right now at Atlantic, I'm currently working with Don Q. I look for records for other people on the roster as well, like Giannis. Kivo Money is this new kid they got from Memphis, I believe.
Okay.
And I'm looking for records for them as well, like producers sending beats for them, things like that. So.
Oh, super dope. Definitely the Don Q. I told you I'm from Jersey, but I do a lot of tri-state movement through Philly, Jersey, and they love Don Q up here. So waiting to hear some hot stuff because he definitely the last couple of albums definitely went hard. So been waiting, anticipating. So waiting for some new stuff. Can't wait to see what's going on and what's going to happen with that.
Yeah, there's some fire coming from Don for sure.
Yeah,
something different. I feel like you guys will love it. So
can't wait. Definitely let me know so we can. So I know I'm gonna be bumping it.
Oh yeah.
I'm around the city. It's always nice when I'm around High Bridge. I go to the Bronx real quick.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna love it. Y'all will love it. It's dope. I can't wait for everyone to hear it.
All right. Shout out to Don Q. But yeah. What advice would you give people that's looking to become an A&R?
Okay, so my advice would be to just start wherever you are. Like just start. And I think the best thing I could say right now for people that want to be an A&R is start by just looking at the artists that you do have contact with. If it's an artist in your city that you're cool with, it may be your homeboy or your friend's cousin, just start somewhere. And with them, build them up. Like, try to find out if you can get producers to work with them. Give them beats, just kind of like work on their production. And from there, that'll build them into being, a better artist. That'll give them another look from people like producers. That'll help them out a lot. And it'll also help you out from, your catalog and your experience with sharpening the artist from just being an A&R. So I think that's something that people should just start with when they begin to, try to go on that path. Also, just becoming a clutch to producers. Try to build a catalog of producers up. Try to think about what producers are in your city that you want to work with. you know, start by trying to plug them with other artists that you know in your city. You know, that helps a lot.
And
So,
doing creative sessions, I thought that was real nice.
right.
Earlier, that's real nice. That's real organic. Get
Mm-hmm.
creating something, but most importantly, you heard what she said. People, start in your city.
Yep. Start in your city, and once you do that, then you have your whole, you know, your whole city, your whole state. You know, just start in your city and just go from there. And one thing you want to do is just start. A lot of people just don't start because they're scared. They don't know what the outcome is going to be. But you should start somewhere. Starting somewhere is better than where you were before you start. So I feel like that's, you know, the best advice I can give with that. And you don't have to be with a label to be a great A&R. There's a lot of A&Rs out here that aren't with labels. There are A&Rs that are with labels, you know. So don't ever think, you know, just because a label or just because no one's picked you up yet, you can't be great at what you really want to do, because you can. So.
Thank you for that gem right there. That was some real information. Once again, you dropped some important jewels on us today. I guess like that's something I'm taking in myself as I'm coming up in the world as an A&R. So I thank you for that information, Kristina. I guess I have a couple of more questions and we're going to wrap it up. I just want to ask, what was one of your most memorable time working in the industry? Up to date.
Today, okay. So my most memorable time, I would say, was like last year.
Okay.
It was probably like a month after I actually started at Atlantic, and I ended up meeting Manny Fresh at the studio I was at.
Manny,
Manny
that's
Fresh.
dope right there. Manny.
Yeah.
The Cash Money, Manny Fresh.
Yeah, and you know how his beats were back in the day. I was kind of young when all that was going on, you know.
The
but I
big
was
Thomas and everything.
Yeah, I remember his music. I remember the beats. I remember all of that because the kids, you know, in my private school or wherever I was at the time, they were knocking on tables trying to do his beats, you know. So I was remembering that. I'm like, okay. So I let them know, like, hey, I just got this job, blah, blah, blah. You know, I was like, I want you to come up to the session one day with me. You know, I have a session sometimes up there. You know, you stop by, we can work on some stuff. So I got his contact and I ended up bringing him in and we worked on a few records together.
That's dope.
A lot of people don't know that. I didn't even video the day he was there, but I didn't make a lot of video footage that day, but it was dope. He made a few records for me and he ended up bringing his guitars. So he actually had a lot of guitars in there with him to create the loops for his beats. And one thing he told me was it's different these days on how he makes beats from back when he made them back in the day. Just the system of the computer, the Fruit Loops, all that is different.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was dope. That was probably my most memorable time so far.
Bet. Like Manny Fresh, I used to imagine like meeting the Cash Money, Baby, Wayne, Manny Fresh, BG, all of them. I had all of the The Block is Hot. I had waiting on I was waiting on what's my boy that got locked up? I can't think of him. Can't think of his name right now. Not BG, Juvenile, and what's the other one?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to think of it.
I can't think of his name right now, but I was waiting for his stuff to drop, and it never did. He got locked up, but it's definitely a great time in life for me. I was a kid myself in middle school or 6th grade, one of them. But yes,
wow,
super cool, Kristina. So, final question.
Okay.
Where do you see yourself next 5 years?
Okay, so in the next 5 years, I see myself as like a successful music executive. Hopefully, like maybe like a vice president position, you know. And I see myself like not being afraid to take chances on artists or taking chances on records and it working out for me. I want to see myself turn something that's a rock into like a diamond, like something that's just, extraordinary, making something out of nothing, which is what a lot of labels, are good at sometimes. And it all comes from within what you have inside your label that's able to do that. And I want to be one of those people that's able to make an example out of that. So
I believe in you. I mean, I've been checking out your Instagram page, working with some dope people. I see you working with Don Q. I also saw producer D Hill, who definitely had that record with Future and Drake.
Yeah, he has Desires as well with Drake.
Yes,
Future.
Desires. That's it right there. So if you finding people like that, I know you're going far.
Yeah, thank you.
That's amazing. And just to be a year, well, you've been in the game for a minute, but a year with Atlantic is a year and some change with Atlantic is amazing. I just want to thank you for, taking your time, coming out, meeting with me today on my first episode on my podcast, the Traveling A&R. So, your time was well appreciated. And thank you. And
you're welcome.
To speaking to you and seeing some more of your work in the game, in the industry.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to make sure I show it for people who want to be inspired. I'm going to be that person. So
thank you. And most importantly for women, like it's different for women coming up in the A&R. So thank you for that.
Yep, it is. I appreciate it. I enjoyed talking to you guys today.
Well, thank you. We're going to once again clap it up for Kristina. And we will be keeping in touch. And I look forward to hearing some hot stuff from Don Q. We can't wait up here. We waiting.
Yeah.
Don, we looking for
It's coming. It's coming. It's definitely coming. That's going to be worth the wait, too.
All right. We got any dates? Are we looking for summer? Like, it's going to be a hot summer? It's going to be a cold winter?
I can't say. I can't say. I don't know. But it's coming sooner than you think.
All right. I'm waiting. As soon as I hear it, I'm with it.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time again. And it was definitely a pleasure.